Sports pregame show.
This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson here, joined by the great Shaquille.
I never want to waste your time. My life, so precious.
Live from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. Partway through the season, some rookies are starting to hit that wall, that imaginary rookie wall. Doris, what can they do to power through it and continue?
You know, Kevin, I think this is where having the great leadership of veterans who understand what these young guys are going through, and then they help them, right? So they understand, one, nutrition becomes important, so that's part of the conversation. Getting the appropriate rest, right? You can't go burning the candle at both ends, and there's so much of a rookie's experience or a young guy's experience in the league is shaped by the veterans around them.
All fueled up and ready to go. Brought to you by Gatorade. Let's check out who's on the floor. On the court right now for the Spurs. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Manu is at the 2 with Leonard playing the 3. And it's Parker in at the point guard position. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game.
Man, it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Here's Gasol. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist.
And the stick-with-it attitude of Gasol, just overwhelming the defense with his length.
Here's Roberson. He's covered by Ginobili. Fires from 18. Westbrook can't get it to go. On offense, here are the Spurs. Last time they met was in San Antonio.
Their last game against this squad, they won out thanks to some big contributions from the bench.
Yeah, that second unit was fantastic in the last meeting. They infused a ton of energy and, somewhat surprisingly, a lot of points production.
And the shot goes in. Adams has got his first 2 points of the night.
Well, the size and the frame of Steven Adams is flat out intimidating. A high percentage scorer around the blocks.
Ginobili kicks to Aldridge. Dishes to Gasol. That shot off. Adams, some nice D. On defense, San Antonio. Want to keep rolling here following the win against Memphis.
Yeah, tough place to play on the road, and you just saw how comfortable they were shooting the basketball.
Amazing, Greg, that the hostile environment had zero effect. Instead, they embraced the challenge and absolutely shot lights out.
Westbrook with the block.
Oh, my goodness. Russell Westbrook twice on the pipe sends that shot back. My goodness.
The 19-foot shot. A nice shot by George.
Yeah, boy, it never gets old watching this guy go to work at the offensive end. He's so gifted.
And when you watch Russell Westbrook play, He's one of the most competitive players in the NBA.
And with the way he attacks the rim and plays with just no abandon, I mean, this guy is no joke. Absolutely wills himself and his team to just do things that few others can, and relentless from the first quarter to the last whistle.
The three from George. Westbrook missing again.
Oh, great job on the closeout, providing a lot of good D on the perimeter.
Well, that's just superb effort on the defensive end. You don't allow the shooter to get into a rhythm from deep.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. George against Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard with the slam.
And he moves so well. When Leonard drives the lane, it's pretty much a guaranteed bucket. Terrific body control, and he plays with the ultimate force.
Spurs leading by 4. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively. Oh, great ball movement there.
Oklahoma City's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, a bit ago, Billy Donovan and I were able to talk. On defense, he said, quote, "We're going to have to neutralize their high flyers. We can't play above the rim against these guys. Whatever it takes, we need to shut down the lane." See if they are able to do that during the game, Kevin.
All right, thank you, David. He gets hauled in by Paul George.
Well, the defense trying to get out on him, but he's left with the open shot. He's got to make that one.
Out of bounds.
And it goes out of bounds. That one's off Parker. As we get a break in the action, let's take a peek at the leading defenses. Number 1, the Spurs.
You know, allowing the fewest points per game in the entire league. Their defense has been dominant. Tremendous scheming by the coaches. The players are skilled. They're motivated. This is a very tough bunch to score on.
And the Thunder making a switch here. Cantor's checked in.
And that's the kind of play you just do not want to give up defensively. You lose the possession and give up a quick 2 at the other end.
Now, here's Westbrook coming off a solid outing against Minnesota. And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul. Shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call. San Antonio the foul. This is his first chance at the line tonight.
And one thing you have to say about Russell Westbrook, he is an absolute star. I mean, the type of player you can build around and win with. Just the total package on the offensive end of the floor.
Looking at who's out there now for the Thunder. Grant, he's checked in for Steven Adams. Alex Abrinas comes in for George. And it's Felton in for Roberson. The numbers Westbrook put up last season in his MVP run, Greg, just staggering.
And you figured his numbers would get a bump, but I don't think anybody could have expected this guy to average a triple-double. I mean, arguably the most impactful superstar in the league.
Now, here's Felton. Looking at his numbers, he's averaging about 6.5 points a game. Oklahoma City shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. That free throw, no good.
Listen, Ray Felton is a very dependable point guard, fantastic floor general who just takes good shots and makes outstanding reads.
Here's Mills. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Mills has got his first bucket in this one.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Well, Westbrook can be a pass-first mentality when necessary. How about the recognition from the crafty guard?
Anderson kicks to Gay.
That's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to tone down his aggression defensively.
San Antonio shooting their 2nd and 3rd free throws tonight. The first free throw is good.
And one thing you can say about Green, I don't know of too many players who are as dependent on their three-point shot as he is. He needs that shot to be falling for him to make an impact.
I think it's best to avoid putting this guy at the line if possible, but that's obviously easier said than done.
Felton against Green. Outside, Felton. Pass to Abrinas. Shot from 16. He got it up in time, but it wouldn't fall for him. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs with a 10-point lead. Some breathing room heading into the break. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. Back to the action after this word. And Russell Westbrook, a guy who has faced some criticism. Also,
it's tough, and I'm still learning every night to be able to come out.
Well, you have to love the competitive attitude, the desire to be great, not just for himself, but for his teammates, too.
And the emphasis on winning. That's why so many people in the league feel that it's just a matter of time before Westbrook puts those finishing touches on his game.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Spurs?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
You love that they're making the offense work, right? Making every single thing they try to do hard.
We've got Russell Westbrook. Grant is out there with Enes Kanter. Then there's Felton. And it's Abrines in at the 3, the small forward. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Here is Anderson following the basket by Russell Westbrook. Over in the corner, Green to the paint. And it's Anderson that time on the assist by Green. Anderson's got the lead up to 12 now for the Spurs. Westbrook with it. He averages over 27 points a game and seems to always find a way to score. Doris is a former guard. You know how much energy it takes to run a team and think a game as well as score. I mean, there's a lot on your plate at that position. The backcourt guys get an advantage of playing with a consistently high motor.
Well, Russell Westbrook, in addition to his ferocity, seems to be able to just...
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
That's a beautiful jam.
You got to love watching Gay just soar through the air. An amazing dunker who just relishes these opportunities.
And that replay sponsored by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment, giving us an excellent perspective on the play. Davis Bertans checks in for Rudy Gay. And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. They're coming off that win against Minnesota.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
I think, Greg, you can't expect to win with that kind of effort. The defense was nowhere to be found, and it cost them all night long.
And it's out of bounds. The Spurs able to retain possession here.
Man, you love the effort. Just getting the hand in there and knocking it out.
You love that they're making their presence felt on the defensive end. You can't afford to be careless with this team.
Patrick Patterson, he's checked in for Russell Westbrook. The timely screen gave him a step, and he took it all the way.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Green. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out west. Already we're in December. You look at San Antonio. Here in the early part of the season, they've acquired the third best record in the conference. And checking out Oklahoma City, 4.5 games behind.
And, you know, for the Thunder, they've never been able to take that next step this season and really break away from the pack.
Yeah, I think if that next step was coming, it would have happened by now. They can't be worried about could-haves and should-haves. They need to be focused 100% on the push for the playoffs.
Anderson in the post, Patterson defending, and Anderson gets it to go.
Those defenders just look a little bit gassed. I mean, they're getting pushed around on that low block.
Boy, guys, how about the offseason the Oklahoma City Thunder had? The acquisition of Paul George, one of the elite two-way players in the game, now playing alongside Russell Westbrook. Look out, everybody.
Outside, Green. Spurs passing it around. Anderson passes to Green. It's deflected. And DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
George is checked in for Grant. Then for the Spurs, Pau Gasol is checked in for Laverne. Leonard comes in for Kyle Anderson. And Parker subbed in for Green. Nailed from three-point land.
And their shots are falling now with more regularity than we saw at first.
Here's Leonard. Doesn't go for him. Excellent D from Cantor. Thunder trailing by 8. Abrines kicks to Felton. Pass to Cantor. Over Gasol. Bounces high off the rim and drops. Cantor's got his second bucket of the game to go.
You must crowd Cantor when he is in the mid-range. He is a knockdown shooter.
Bertans passes to Parker. At the elbow, it's Gasol. Murray dishes to Gasol. Parker kicks to Leonard. 6 on the shot clock. A nice shot by Gasol. And the Spurs lead by 8.
And it's coming easy for them right now. 5 baskets in a row in the paint.
Felton kicks to Patterson. Outside, George. Here's Cantor. Makes it off the glass. Cantor's got 6 points in the quarter.
You know, after not scoring a single point in the first quarter, they're still feeding him, and he's showing his appreciation.
Gasol a screen. Murray kicks to Leonard. The shot, no good. And the Thunder going the other way now. Here's George. Kept alive, Cantor. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
It's the size of Cantor that makes him a tough matchup, right? He is so good at finding space inside and forcing the defense to foul him.
For the Thunder, Steven Adams, he's checked in for Patterson. Andre Robertson comes in for Alex Abrines. And Russell Westbrook is subbed in for Raymond Felton. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. LaMarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for Gasol. Gay comes in for Bertans. Manu Ginobili's checked in for DeJounte Murray. And it's Mills in for Parker. Aldridge's shot is good. 23 seconds left in the first half of basketball. Here's Roberson. He's covered by Ginobili. Pass to Westbrook. Back to Robertson. Fires for 3. That one misses. And so it's San Antonio heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They're pounding the ball inside, and that's where they've gotten their best. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports
Welcome
Halftime
back, everybody.
Show.
I'm Ernie Johnson. This big mountain of a man is Shaquille O'Neal. It's San Antonio out on top at halftime. They've got the 7-point lead. Shaq, what did you see from San Antonio?
Well, Kenny knows about this. I used to do this to his team all the time. Take advantage of you down low. Mismatch. Barbecue chicken alert. Make good entry passes. That led to some good looks, obviously a lot of points. When you control the paint, Ernie, you control the game. I was the master of controlling.
Welcome back to Oklahoma City, everyone. You can see Chesapeake Energy. On the floor for San Antonio, Aldridge and Kawhi Leonard, the 2 stars at the forward spots. The timeless Parker and Manu are the 1 and the 2. And it's Gasol at the pivot spot manning the middle.
And Kevin, even though they're down, he's still looking to do the spectacular, and he did.
Well, maybe this is the best time to do it. That was a great angle we just saw, courtesy of Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment.
Out of bounds.
Well, obviously, the biggest impact Steven Adams has for this team is his ability to be a defensive force in the middle. This guy carves up space, takes away any would-be penetrators, solid rim protection, just an unbelievable guy on the interior.
And so it's Oklahoma City with it. It's a 5-point game. And here's Westbrook from the arc. Sinks the three-pointer. Westbrook's got 12 in the game.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Oklahoma City's gone 3 of 6 tonight when they've let it fly from downtown. More on Adams, Doris. Not only is he a shot-blocking presence, but also will come up with a good amount of steals for a big man.
And that's an area, Kev, where Adams has really improved recently. For his size, he's got great agility and great anticipation in the paint. And I like that there's no hesitation to rotate and challenge any player he switches onto.
And for those of you tuning in, we're about a minute into the second half. Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook, rebounded by the Spurs. They've held a 12-point lead earlier. And at home for the next game, it'll be Detroit pulling into town. And that's the first game in a string of 3 straight at home.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones. The dish to Patterson. Poke loose. Patterson against Aldridge. Now here's Parker. T right on him. Leonard kicks to Aldridge. And he could not get that one to go. Out of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. Steven Adams picks one up. San Antonio shooting their 6th and 7th free throws in the game. A free throw drops for Aldridge. Doris, you've watched the game of basketball develop over the years, but it seems like over the past 5 seasons, there's been a real shift in what is considered a good shot. Talk about that if you could.
Well, there was a moment in last year's finals where Steph Curry is leading a transition opportunity where it's a 3-on-2, and normally you are taught, go get a layup. Well, Steph had Kevin Durant in front of him, and instead of passing to KD, he stops and shoots a pull-up 3. The three-pointer and playing with pace are the most extreme differences in this year's NBA.
The pull-up 3 really took a lot of focus, I thought, this past playoff season, didn't you?
Oh, I agree. And it's incredible the freedom that these guys have to go ahead and pull the trigger. Now, whether that's analytics-based, Kevin, or whether it's just the skill level changing of the players, that's an interesting question.
Raymond Felton, he's checked in for Oklahoma City. The Spurs also with the sub. Berton has checked in.
I'm a fan of anybody who defends that way. I mean, they weren't about to open the door and just allow him to cruise in for a layup.
Alex Abrinas has checked in for Oklahoma City. Then for the Spurs, Rudy Gay's checked in for Laverne, and Murray's subbed in for Parker. They double him with Green. It's stolen by Green. Fast break, here they come. Gay passes to Bertens. And Adams sends it back.
And the defense of Steven Adams is so important to this team. They depend on him to be a rim protector now.
And the foul called on Kenny Green. That's his 4th foul of the contest. And the Thunder making a change here. Cantor's checked in. Spurs also with the sub. Mills, he's checked in for DeJounte Murray. Abrinas kicks to Adams. Mills with the steal. One-on-one fast break. Here's Bertens, and it is flushed down with a nice jam.
Yeah, getting theirs before the defense can set up.
Boy, just a step quicker than the defense, really. Catching them off guard and capitalizing well.
And a look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from. The paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for Oklahoma City.
And even when the deep 3 has been there, they've stayed away from it. They're working hard to get shots from close range, resisting that urge to get too loose with their shot selection.
Abrinas the pass to Cantor. That one goes. Count it. Cantor's got 9.
And this is why Cantor is a fantastic pick-and-roll option. He's big as a screener and a superb roller.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
And it's Abrinas in the corner. Good. A nice assist from Felton. Abrinas has got his first 3 points of the game.
Amazing recognition by Felton. Sees the wide-open man, sends it on time and on target.
Bertans kicks to Mills. Here's Anderson. Can't hit that one. And Oklahoma City will go with it the other way. Here's Abrinas, guarded by Green. Adams outside. Clock at 6. Stolen by Anderson. Oh, and here we go. Green's got it. The fast break chance. Lays it up and banks it in. And the Spurs lead by 9.
And that's another fast break bucket. And this is the pace, though, guys, that's been working for them.
You know, I think, Greg, the faster the tempo, the better they are. And I love the pace they're playing with right now.
Cantor's shot is off.
Well, you don't get much more wide open inside the arc. He simply got to make that shot.
Here's Pertinis. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. That's on Enes Kanter. The Spurs have gone a perfect 7 of 7 from the line tonight. And the first one drops. A different look for Oklahoma City. Patrick Patterson. He's checked in for Steven Adams. Andre Robertson comes in for Grant. And it's Russell Westbrook in for Alex Abrinas. Then for the Spurs, Kawhi Leonard comes in for Anderson. And it's Ginobili in for Danny Green. Thunder trailing by 11. Outside Westbrook. Goes up on the wing. Here's Patterson. That one's not going to go. And so it's the San Antonio Spurs. Their lead at 11 points to end the quarter. Their lead is where it is because they've gotten good shots. A lot of good shots. And don't go away. We'll be right back. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Just an observation. We got to get a whole lot more physical. Loose.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. Patterson the 4 with Kanter in the middle. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair, and it's George in at the 3. That's the lineup in the game for Oklahoma City. Double team on Westbrook. Oklahoma City moving it around. Kanter sets the pick for George. Off the pick. And good. He nails it. George has got the fourth quarter going with the first basket of the period here for Oklahoma City. Outside Gasol. Here's Aldridge. He's good with the little jumper in close. And the Spurs lead by 11.
And now this game is becoming a showcase for Aldridge. He's been out of control, a one-man team. Now it's just a matter of getting him the ball and getting out of his way.
Outside Leonard. Oh, and the jam by Leonard.
He's going to put that one in his scrapbook. Insane dunk.
And now they're starting to rub it in, build up a lead, and here we go, baby. It is showtime. And Robertson kicks to Westbrook. Shoots over Mills, and it's Westbrook again missing.
Boy, the way he's been going, he is not going to be the guy to turn this around.
And there's the whistle on the shot. Took the foul, shot misses. He'll be shooting 2. And there's the call, Oklahoma City with the foul. Free throw good, Mills. Doris, back in college, you earned a master's in education. How close were you to pursuing that path versus veering into becoming an analyst for basketball games?
Yeah, you know, to be honest with you, I always felt like I would be a high school teacher and a basketball coach, and someday maybe I'll coach a boys' high school basketball team. Very close, Kevin. I happened into broadcasting. I left coaching at Providence College. They put their women's basketball games on radio, and that was my entree into the business, and slowly but surely it grew every year.
But still educating still, right? I mean, don't you feel there's a part of education to being an analyst?
Oh, there's no question about it. You are trying to help that viewer to be as close to the action as we are fortunate enough to be. And sure, just describing what's going on. It's a lot of fun.
You are a PhD in broadcasting. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, over that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to listen to what Billy Donovan said to his team. He was not happy with their defensive performance. He said they're getting everything they want. We've got to show them we can't let that happen. You have to make a stand. You have to get some stops, and that'll get us going on a run. Guys?
Yeah, they're starting to go in the wrong direction. In terms of turnovers, it's slowly becoming a problem.
Gasol kicks to Leonard. Ginobili dishes to Aldridge. Shoots over Patterson. And all around the rim that time before dropping in. 16 points for Aldridge.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Here's Patterson. And again, no good by Oklahoma City.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change. And Gasol is a guy who can do a multitude of things well. I mean, he scores it, rebounds it, passes it, just an all-around talent.
You think about what Coach Billy Donovan has had to deal with in terms of his roster makeup in his tenure in Oklahoma City. You begin with Kevin Durant and Serge Ibaka, then you lose both those guys after your first year, and now you add Paul George. Through it all, Billy has been able to keep this team competitive.
And Oklahoma City making a change here. Adams checked in. Screen by Adams, and the call will be against Tony Parker. That'll be his second foul of the game. Just under 2.5 minutes gone here in the final quarter. Westbrook. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. And for Donovan, he came into a situation where success was expected. Not easy for a college transition coach. But at this point, he has overachieved.
Well, you certainly think that Billy Donovan deserves a ton of credit for the Thunder's success last season. Without Kevin Durant, the team easily could have fallen out of the playoff picture, but this guy helps the team move to a different style on offense and continue to keep the team competitive.
Parker with the steal. Gasol against Adams. Back to Gasol. Right wing. It's Parker with the drive. Here's Aldridge, and the dunk by Aldridge.
And Kevin, the knack for the offensive rebound are a big part of what makes this guy special.
Not to mention, Greg, his ability to finish with strength just like that.
You know, it's an invaluable asset to have. He's as tenacious down there as anyone.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Nothing they're doing on the defensive end is working. They've got to figure something out, and fast. Well, Paul George has made himself into one of the premier two-way perimeter players in the NBA. I think you have to put him in that category with Kawhi Leonard and LeBron James. He can take over a game in every facet, guys.
Grant, he's checked in for the Thunder. Felton comes in for Russell Westbrook. And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Arenas is checked in for George.
Now the lineup for your Thunder.
1:32 left in the fourth quarter. Count that one. And the Spurs lead by 21. And Doris, Paul George, capable of carrying a team offensively while also locking down the other team's top wing threat.
And that, to me, Kev, is one of the hardest things to do in this league, to expend the energy necessary to be an elite two-way player. Paul George is the real deal.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Spurs.
Fewer miscues made the difference.
Yeah, I mean, a great all-around effort. Not only did they minimize their turnovers, but kept the pressure up on D, forcing the other team to commit turnovers.
And in terms of the season record, this is going to be their 18th win overall.
And as we get set to put this one to bed, a one-sided season series thus far, they've won 2 straight.
The one player that really stands out, of course, in this one, it was a dazzling game for Aldridge.
Boy, we got to see this guy's full range of offensive ability. He scored at every opportunity and in every way imaginable.
Here's Roberson, off target with his 3. Here's San Antonio. They're on a 16-7 run. Here's Green, and Grant sends it back. Here's Roberson, off target from outside. And it's the Spurs ball. 5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Here's Green. Green missing again. Outside, Felton. Here's Roberson. Grant the pass to Adams. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist.
Yeah, surprised he doesn't have more shot attempts. He's been accurate. You'd think he'd want to take control now with them behind.
Murray, good.
I'll tell you, when you're the visiting team, it can be hard to maintain focus, but not tonight.
No, I think that they've been locked in during this game. They didn't let the opposing crowd get to them at all. This has been pure domination.
And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect to...
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Allman,